Hey, what's good, y'all? It's C Will, and this is the Passive Income Network. On this podcast, we talk about creating assets that produce passive income. On this episode, we got a special feature, right? We have Jerremy Newsome, who I'll bring in a moment. He's an author, he's an advisor, and an investing guru with real life trading. So, for all you traders out there, make sure y'all tap in on this one. We'll be having this audio posted on Spotify shortly after it appears on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna bring Jerremy on in. What's good, Jerremy?
Your smile. That's what's good, man. Dude, I like that. That's awesome.
Hey, man, I like to have good vibes, and while we're making money.
Wealthy vibes only. I'm with you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's set the scene for the audience. Who is Jerremy Newsome? Let's break it down. I know you have a story of you coming up. So let's talk about it. Who is Jerremy Newsome? And let's break it down for the audience before we dive in too deep.
Totally, man. So I am currently 33 years old, but I was born in a single wide trailer treehouse in Georgia. It's as weird as it sounds. I escaped a cult at the age of 24. I became a liquid millionaire by 28. I lost it all 3 separate times from 3 separate crazy, tragic accidents. And now I currently teach future and current world leaders on how to use the crypto and stock market to help their communities and help their citizens both grow, expand, and enrich lives.
Wow. Thank you. So, okay. I'm like, okay, the cult. Okay.
Yep.
So you escaped the cult, escaped some poverty, right?
Yep.
And so let's go to the beginning. Why trading? Because I know, the foundation, you'll probably agree, is to have a financial literacy education, right?
Yep.
And then to build a long-term portfolio and then go to trading. So would you agree with that? And then why trading? Can you break down trading to the audience?
Totally. I would agree with that. I think trading is a career that a lot of people haven't thought about or really given a lot of attention to because they think you have to be incredibly smart. You have to stand in front of your computer all day long and you have to have tons and tons of money. But trading, especially successfully, Will, is like second grade math over and over and over. So the way it started for me was the movie Forrest Gump. Like 80% of the way through the movie, Forrest said that him and Lieutenant Dan invested into a fruit company and they no longer had to worry about money anymore. Mm-hmm. When I first heard that, I was in adjunct poverty, man. I didn't know what running water was, didn't have an AC. So not having to worry about money anymore really appealed to me. And I asked my dad, what's investing and what's the fruit company? So he told me about Apple computers.
Yep.
And obviously he didn't know tons about the stock market, but he told me that Apple will be a really big company one day and a lot of people would use their computers. And so I told him we needed to invest just like Forrest did.
Yep.
And he gave me their normal answer, man. Money doesn't grow on trees, dude. We're too poor to invest in the stock market. That's for rich people, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I went and picked blackberries and sold them door to door in the summer of 1994, made $1,500 selling blackberries. And we took that money. Hustler, man, like slinging berries, dude. Yeah. And use that money to invest in Apple in 1994.
Oh, wow. So question, how long did you hold? That's always the question. Because, Apple ran up.
It did. Those shares right now will be worth like 36 million. I sold them $35.999 million ago in 2000. So we moved from Georgia to Florida. My dad got a real job. Yep. And when we moved, it was 2000. Top of the tech bubble. I mean, I got lucky, obviously, but we sold the shares for, I think $12,000 of profit. And so he gave me $12,000 as a 12-year-old, and I knew that this is all I wanted to do was trade and create wealth and use the stock market to propel other people and get them out of both poverty but financial slavery.
I could dig that. Yeah. Like, I agree, man. Like, my whole journey too is like I started in poverty. And I lived in trailers. I lived in motels before. Like, so I'm like, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. My family doesn't know anything about that. They just knew to go to work, give the money to the 401k, and that's about it.
Yep.
And then pull out money before you retire. That's all, what most people do. So let's break this now. Trading. So people are trading stocks in terms of options. People are trading crypto. So I would say for someone who wants to get in trading, how would we start that journey? Would you recommend stocks, futures? Like which asset class would we go to if we wanted to start trading?
I'd say either stocks or crypto for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe crypto because it's really, really, really easy. I mean, it's hard to mess up. There are no pattern day trading rules, or there's no really requirements or limits or like minimums. So you can trade in and out as much as you want with a small amount of money or any amount of money. And I think that's a good way to just have the idea that you can make money with money and see it happen in front of you. Like once that takes hold, your brain will start to shift to figure out how to do that more. So yeah, I would say either stocks or crypto because really they're both asset classes and both of them move the exact same way. What I mean by that is if you buy 100 units of anything, doesn't matter what it is, right? 100 Cardano, 100 Solana, 100 AMD shares, 100 Apple shares. If that 100 units of something goes up $3, you make $300 always and forever. That math will stand true and hold true. And that $300 could increase while you're at work, while you are reading a book, while you're sleeping. Like you never know. And that's the point is once you see it and you feel it and you understand it, your brain will naturally find ways to increase your value to make more money so you can invest more. So that next time it's, you buy 500 units rather than 100, and then you buy 1,000 units. Now, every time it goes up $1, you make $1,000. That can be game-changing money very quickly.
Yeah, so you're talking about developing a thirst for the money. That's what I would call it.
Absolutely, for sure.
Because I think I would say like I started exactly what you said. Like I was like, okay, I got into crypto. I liked was one of the main ones I was on was XRP. And I was like, let me start with $20. Like it sounds fake, but it's real. I was like, okay. And I did the same thing. I just kept learning and growing in my knowledge. And then as I became more skilled, I increased what I was doing. So do you break down one of your biggest trades and also your biggest loss in terms of ones that you did well in and one that you did bad in? Because I think there's always good learning in both.
For sure. Let's start with the loss because that's people like that one the most. I mean, I went out in a blaze of glory for sure. I started trading actively when I was about 19 or 20, and I started borrowing other people's money, which included my dad's money and some friends' money. And I borrowed around $400,000 of other people's money and started trading relatively successfully, did okay. And then I bought silver at its highest price of all time and forever. I actually, if you go to the Guinness World Book of Records, I am in there, not really, but for the highest price of silver ever. I was the guy
that bought the top.
Dog, I bought it. I know exactly what it feels like now to buy tops, and I know what that euphoria and that emotion. And I lost all of it because not only did I not buy stocks, I bought options. Not only did I buy options, I bought options that expired next week. So I put a lot of money on an option that went to zero very quickly, and
that's
got burned.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, got burned. And so that was my early 20s. But if you're gonna be an idiot, be an idiot in your early 20s, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah, I'm 32, so we're about the same age. Like I can 100%. Agree.
Yeah, so make your mistakes as early as possible, man. Fail fast, fail forward, learn, and don't repeat it. Right, that's the most expensive mistake is the ones you repeat. So I learned not to leverage money aggressively. I learned not to borrow money aggressively. I learned to have a risk plan and a risk tolerance. One of the trades I made the most amount of money on was Tesla.
Wow!
In 2019, let me just check to 3 seconds. 2019, June of 2019, Tesla was at its lowest price realistically at that point ever. And I flew up to New York City and went on a show called Real Vision, which is essentially like CNBC money finance show, and very publicly proclaimed that Tesla was going to go higher. And this was the exact time to buy as much as you could. And the only way I was going to be wrong is if Elon Musk died. Otherwise, this is going to be a very successul trade.
You did that Kathy Woods because that's what she got famous for as well.
That's what she got famous. Yeah. I didn't
wrote it down, but or whatever she did.
She did all kinds of things.
Yeah.
She did all kinds of things. But yeah, I hope she gets on your show at some point.
Yeah, no, I like Kathy Wood. So you did a really successful Tesla trade. Was
Yep.
it an option or you was kind of like swing trading? Like what's that part like?
All of it. Yeah. So I
Oh,
bought calls, I bought shares, and I sold puts for my advanced traders out there. So I did something called a
yep.
synthetic long. And I was just extremely bullish, but the math worked out. I mean, the implied volatility was like 155%. The options I sold at the time, I think Tesla was at 150. I was selling $100 strikes for like
Damn.
$12 a share. And I used some money to buy out of the money calls. So not to get too deep,
No,
but
I
I
was
made a
saying you got deeper there, but we
but I essentially leveraged a specific amount of money I was okay to lose, which was about 75 grand. It's like if this did not work, I was going to lose 75,000, but that same 5,000 turned into about 1.2 million in the course of a month and a half.
Yeah, I need to get with you, man. That's something that I'm slowly getting into is learning and
Sweet.
understanding how to trade properly.
Yeah.
Like I've done at most, I would do some swing trading. I definitely use crypto, and I went long on a few cryptos. I like going long. It seems like easier a strategy for me if I.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so trading. So let's talk about futures,
Okay.
right? That's something. Can you break down exactly what
Mhm.
futures are?
Yeah, futures are almost kind of crazy as it sounds what they sound like. So what you're doing is you're betting on the price of commodity at a future time and price. And a future
So real
doesn't have
quick,
to.
in commodities as well. We talking about grain. We're talking about corn, crude
Mhm.
oil, things of that nature.
Yep, exactly. Cotton,
Yep.
soybeans, corn, wheat.
Yep.
When the Ukraine thing happened, wheat and corn futures
Went through the roof.
skyrocketed
Yep.
because Ukraine produces 40% of the world's corn. Fun fact. So when all that supply gets removed from the global markets, demand stays the same and therefore price increases. I didn't make any money off that because I don't really particularly trade commodities because you can't trade everything, right? It's like LeBron James is the best in basketball, but he doesn't
Yep.
bowl.
No.
So he probably could, but
Yeah.
you're making money in a market, and my specialty is cryptos and stocks and options. I understand futures, I understand commodities, but I don't
Okay, I hear
actively
you.
trade them. But that's what futures are. Futures are literally a price contract of something in
In the
a
future.
future point in time. Exactly.
Crazy. Okay. Let's because I'm hitting you with all the trading. What
I'm with
about
you, dude. It's okay.
yeah. Do you trade we'll say forex
I do.
currencies? Yeah.
Yeah, I understand forex very well.
Okay. So can you break down again for the audience? I do have some understanding of forex with the pips and the lot
Mhm.
sizes and things of that nature. But what would be the easiest way for you to explain what a foreign exchange is to a rookie investor?
Yeah. So to a brand new person, investor, or trader, there is a global economy out there that uses currency from other countries. And Forex is a short term for foreign exchange. And what you're doing is you are trading your base currency, whatever that currency is, against another base currency. Example, the US dollar against the Japanese yen.
Yep.
And the US dollar and the Japanese yen fluctuate on a minute to minute, day by day, week by week price point because of exports, imports, economies, global scales, wars, riots, whatever, right? The geopolitical space of both countries as they move and as they thrive and as they breathe, you have a change in valuation, right? A lot of people expect the US to do extremely well and the Japanese economy not to, as an example.
Yep.
The US dollar would grow in relation to the Japanese dollar. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to buy as many US dollars as you could against the Japanese dollar to have more value as it
Okay.
increases versus the Japanese yen. And people can do that because if you are a company, this was mind blowing to me, Will. But let's say you're Walmart, so you're a global company, and you do business in Scotland or
Yep.
Africa or Ireland or South America or whatever. You have different currencies that you're buying all these different supplies in different states and different cities and different countries and different time zones. So the currency, like they have traders that will literally sit there all day, all week. These big, huge
Yep.
international companies, they'll have traders sit there to try to take moves so that they can save money. If they're spending billions of dollars against the British pound, they're going to try to save money by buying the supplies in the other country's currency versus the current currency if it's stronger or weaker.
Yeah.
It's
It's
wild.
crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy market because yeah, that gets my wheels turned. Because when you think about it, like the US is is a exporting or importing economy, right?
Yep.
And Japan is an exporting economy.
Yep.
So like that, I see how you can make different moves, which means
Totally.
which you also are waking up in different time zones so that you can trade those markets.
Precisely. And what's amazing is the foreign currency market is the largest market on earth by a lot. So the crypto market's the smallest by
Facts.
by a lot.
Yeah,
What, 2.5 trillion maybe?
yeah,
I
maybe,
mean, two
yeah,
and a half trillion is the size of Apple, right? So we're
yep,
talking it's a drop in the bucket. But Forex is about 16 times larger than the U.S. stock market. So it is huge. I mean, talking
yeah.
trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And the US dollar, as we speak, I mean, this is not really relevant information right now, but the US dollar versus the Japanese yen has increased $7. Okay. So when I
Damn.
say $7, it went from, if you go to Japan right now, your dollar will buy you more than it did a month ago by a
Jesus.
factor of 7. I mean, it's dramatic.
So why did that happen?
I have no idea.
Okay. I
I
thought
have
you had
no
an
clue.
answer. I'm like,
Yeah.
got all quiet. I have no
Woo! No
idea.
clue.
Oh
If I
wow.
had to guess,
Yeah.
though, it probably has a lot to do with China right now, because China and Russia, like, people are like, "Oh, is China going to invade Taiwan?"
Yep.
So what's happening is we're starting to remove a lot of our dealings with China and starting to use a lot more Japanese products rather than Chinese
Mm.
products, because we're kind of, the U.S. is a little
Preparing
nimble
a
right
little bit.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if I had to guess, that'd probably be it. But I mean, that is a huge change. And from 2021,
Crazy.
let's say January, it was actually $1.02, and now it's $1.22. So if you want to travel to Japan, this is the best time to ever go there since 2015.
Well, shit, we going to Japan then.
Yep.
That's why I tell my lady, I'm like, man, wherever our dollar stretches the most, we definitely got to go visit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And Canada's a good spot right now. Um, Europe is not really.
no,
Britain is not. England's not really, but Australia is. So there are places where you can look at the foreign markets and really see your U.S. dollar and how it
mm,
compares to other currencies, and determine if you want to travel there, because you'll have more buying power.
that's excellent. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm a pivot a little bit.
Sure.
So you're speaking well as an author. Can you talk about what is the book that I guess you produce a few books, or is it one book?
I've written a few. I mean, most of them are smaller, but the one that I am most recognized for is a book called Money Grows on Trees. It was a bestseller, and Money Grows on Trees is simply about the mindset of money, and how
Okay.
that money specifically is your least valuable asset. And most people view it as their
I can
most
agree with
valuable
you.
asset. Most people spend their most valuable asset time trying to chase their least valuable asset, money, because in their brain, that makes the most sense. They can buy things with money. But
Yep.
ironically, you want to buy things with knowledge, experience, time if you can. Like, you don't want to, you want to not spend your time to get money. And a lot of people are like, well, that
Agreed.
doesn't make any sense. How do I get money then? Well, you can spend other things, right? You can amplify your ability. An example, Sewell, if you, let's say, because you have coaching products, you have products where you pour into individuals. So let's
Yes.
say you pour into one person and that one person pays you $100. Fantastic. Or you have a product where you teach 10 people at the exact same time, and 10 of those people pay you $80. So you make 8 times more money for the exact same hour, because you sat
Yep.
down and said, okay, how can I amplify my message to more people? That thinking is truly how money does grow on trees. When you start realizing that it's the beliefs that we were given as young
Yes.
adults that have shaped
Facts.
our life.
It's like you bring up a great point because, like I saying, I definitely was looking at both of your websites. Your, I guess, personal one,
Yeah.
great looking, beautiful family, and
Thanks,
then
man.
the you click over and you go to your your business site, which is your coaching, your mentoring, and and I see automation.
Yep.
Right, that's what I'm seeing there, and I'm building the same type of thing. So it was like actually pretty cool to like look
Love
at
it.
your stuff. I was like, okay, because I'm working with my team and we're doing all that, but automation. And so that's what people are looking for is automation and passive income. That's
Sure.
essentially what you just described right now.
Yep.
Um, can you dive in more into that? Like, can you like why did you create so many courses? And like what is the purpose of all of these courses? Of course, it makes you money. I see a lot of free courses because you clearly want to educate people as well.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, I think everyone, to the root understands passive income because you have to make money while you sleep, otherwise you're going to work forever. And a
Yes.
very popular Warren Buffett quote, but essentially we have to create impact while we can use our time to do the things that we are destined and created on this earth to do.
Yep.
And you only have, I mean, we have a limited amount of time as a human, although time itself is unlimited, right? It's an abundant asset, but we
Yep.
have a limited amount of it because we're human. When you're
Unfortunately.
talking, when you're talking about passive income, man, most of it is a myth because semi-passive income, yes, right? Semi-passive income for me means you're probably going to spend hours a week or a month creating or facilitating or changing or
Yep.
updating or tweaking. But the goal is, man, to take that money that you make from semi-passive income, take that earnings and put it into something like cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, an asset, or Atom, for example. Like Cosmos pays 5% yield annually. So you're taking your money, you're buying Cosmos with it. They're paying you 5%. So that 5% is extremely passive. And then if Cosmos eventually goes to 50, right now it's at about 25, 30, you can make 100% return on your actual asset that you purchase plus an additional 5%.
Yes.
That will be passive income because you don't have to do anything once you make that purchase. But when you sell it, then it becomes semi-passive income because you have to use your brain, your skill, your knowledge base to take that money and then reinvest it into either Cosmos again at a lower price or something else.
Exactly. Yes. Passive income changed my life. I can
100%.
definitely. I be trying to, tell people I'm coaching. We have to put ourselves in a position where we can buy back our time.
Yep.
Passive income buys back your time. I definitely make more passive income money than I make working somewhere. So that's always the goal is to let your passive surpass. All right. So we talk cryptos, we talk futures, we talk stocks. Can you tell us what's your favorite cryptos and why?
Sure, man.
Go ahead.
You talking about layer 1, layer 2, all that kind of fun stuff?
All that. But you can go ahead. Yeah.
Man, so there's really the way I think about it are twofold. So you have cryptos that you can actively trade for active or semi-active income. And those would be Ethereum, Stellar Lumen, because I actually see the product that it is and what value it provides.
Yep.
Basic Attention Token is one of my favorite in all aspects, because I'm using the Brave browser right now. But secondly,
nice.
If people continue to use that, there's so many ways that this ecosystem can propel itself. When you're dealing with cryptos, in my opinion, it is all about the ecosystem and what value it actually provides to humanity and to the people who use it. So I'm an Ethereum bunny, man. Like I'm all in on Ethereum. I'm a huge fan. I do have a lot of Bitcoin, but Ethereum is my number one platform because I can see the decentralized applications that are built on top of it. I can experience it. I can tweak it. I can practice it. I can build my own ERC-22 a platform or approach.
Yes.
So when I'm looking at cryptos, I need to have something sustainable, valuable that I can understand basically, right? Easy to understand and easy to explain to someone else. Stellar Lumen's great because it's essentially like an online payment protocol like Stripe. So they're trying to be the online payment processor, which we're going to need. We're going to need that in the Bitcoin world, in the crypto world. We're going to need banking opportunities and highly, highly liquid transfer opportunities. Litecoin will be around forever, but that's one of mine that's fun to actively trade. I'm not going to buy and hold that forever.
You just swing traded and things of that nature.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll swing trade Litecoin. So if it's at 100, I'll buy 100 of them, invest 10 grand. It goes up to 120. I sell it. Make that profit, make that $2,000, whatever take that $2,000 and then go buy a condo in Florida with a down payment, make a tweak, make an update. So using that money to just slowly recycle it over and over and over. I love Litecoin for active trading. But really, man, Cosmos.
I love Cosmos too.
Basic Attention Token and Ethereum most likely are my 3 favorite cryptos.
Okay. What I'm hearing is utility overall.
Yeah.
You didn't say no meme coin or anything of that nature.
No, but you can trade those. I mean, you can but personally, I'm not a Ripple fan at all. I think it's absolute dumpster fire, but that's just my opinion. You can trade anything. So you can actively trade Ripple, but is it going to go to $10? No, I don't personally think so.
I'm doubtful, man. Ripple, I think, had its run.
I think it had its run, man. Shiba, Like maybe it does something, maybe it doesn't. All good, but I do actively trade Shiba. I have some Shiba coins. Same thing with Doge, right? I think
Yeah.
that those
Good
can
trades.
yeah, exactly. They're for trades, man. Like take 10,000, maybe 20, 30%, sell it, take out your winnings, go reinvest it into your house, make your house worth more money, and then take
Yep.
that $10,000 and go do it again with something else.
So I like what you keep leaning back to, right? And this is where I'm going, and this is my path too. You're getting your you got your earned income. You're
Mhm.
buying, trading cryptos and stocks, which is increasing your wealth and also giving you more capital to then take that capital and go buy some real estate. That's the
Precisely.
play.
Yep, that's a play for sure.
Yeah.
One of the other plays I'm doing right now, and if you're interested in this, Will, let me know. But I do bourbon barrel investing also. So
I was like, tell me more. Yeah,
it's
that's
it's a
interesting.
it's a very interesting asset class that very few people know a lot about. But essentially, if you buy whiskey or bourbon or
I
whatever,
drink whiskey only. So
perfect. So it
yeah.
comes right. It's aged. So when a distillery makes it, they make this bourbon, they make the liquid, and they put it into a barrel, and then they sell that barrel to a whole buyer like you or I.
Yep.
That increases their cash flow, and then they don't have to hold it anymore because if they just keep it on the books,
Yeah.
it's a dead asset, the dead money to them. So they sell it to
Yep.
someone, they get the cash. Now, the wholesaler, whole buyer, aka me and you, let that asset sit in a barn, sit in a storage facility, and age. And what happens to whiskey and bourbon as it ages?
Gets better.
It's better and becomes more valuable,
Valuable. Yep.
right? And so right now, like at this exact moment, to give you some numbers, like a 1 year Kentucky bourbon on the market trades at like $1,600 a barrel. A 4 year Kentucky bourbon trades at $3,600 a barrel. I mean,
Oh
that is
wow.
a dramatic
Yeah.
increase.
Cause you got my mind running because I listen to Robert Kiyosaki. He talking about, he owns an avocado farm and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Right. That's what this got me thinking about. I never
Right.
thought about owning a whiskey bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because
That's something. Because
it is.
it always goes up in value.
Dude, always. Like,
Always. Like,
yeah.
yeah. It's a
And if
yeah,
you
we'll
can't
have to
sell it,
yeah,
just hold it longer
yeah,
because
and it gets
it'll
better.
age and then more people want to buy it eventually.
Oh wow. So yeah, we'll have to talk more online
Sure.
off of that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. As we slowly start to close out,
Yep.
right? Can we give two types of tips, right? I want a tip for the people who are new to investors. Like I make videos that's like how to get in DeFi with $100, right? So can you give me some type of tip for a new person about investing with a little bit of capital? And then the second one, I want you to do something advanced for people with more capital.
Totally. So I'll give you two tips. So if you have smaller amounts of capital, and I love your questions, by the way, man, you're a great question asker.
Thank
For
you.
those who have a little bit of capital, start and keep going. So you got $100. Great. Invest that $100 and then next month or next quarter, do it again because
Yep.
you got a job, right?
Yep.
Or you have some type of income. Like it doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's, who cares, bro? Go make your money however you want to do it. Don't go buy that alcohol. Don't go buy
Yep.
that cigarette. Don't go buy those extra meals, right? Starve yourself a little bit. It's okay. You'll live and stack that paper. Take those $100 and buy Ethereum on a constant repeat drip, right? Just
Yep.
every single week or month, just put it in there. Don't buy those extra pairs of shoes right now. You don't need
Yep.
them. Your shoes are fine. Take the $100, boom, buy some more Ethereum. Another month goes by. Take $100, boom. Keep doing that for years and you will become a very, very wealthy person because it's a habit. Your
Yes.
mindset and your growth, you'll start to see it and feel it and you'll believe it. And that's incredible. My tip for
Excellent.
my tip for investors or traders who have more money is you must, without question, learn options. That is imperative. The
Mm.
collar strategy is one of the most lucrative and underrated strategies on earth. So a collar strategy, to make it very simple, is you can buy shares, you can rent out your shares to bring in rental passive income. You can take that rent money from the shares that you rented and buy an insurance contract on it. So you can, in the stock market, create an unlosable position over a certain period of time.
Yeah. That sounds crazy. I never heard of that one.
Ooh,
Yeah, I like
dog.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah, me
So
too.
so yeah, and it's like those are those strategies where we're using leverage, but also you like you said, you got some security in there, and it's a
Yep.
nice looping cycle where Yeah, you can get out. That sounds amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
All right, man. So I would say this was great. A lot of value in this podcast, a lot of value, and I think definitely that people are going to really want to know more. I want to know more. It's just being in this space. So again, where can everyone find you? We didn't even bring it up much, but where could they find Real Life Trading and Jerremy Newsome?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So essentially what I would do is whoever listens to your podcast, do one of three things, but the easiest thing to do is just find me. As long as you spell my first name correctly, I'll come up. I'm very Googleable.
Yeah, you
So
got those
Jerremy,
two R's in there.
yep, Jerremy. If you throw that in there to the Google bar, you'll find me all over the place, man. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the social medias. My website is called reallifetrading.com. I do have a kids program that's entirely free coming out next week. So I teach kids this stuff. I teach high schoolers, middle schoolers, adults from 7 to 97. My mission is to enrich lives. I do that by teaching people how to trade the stock market effectively and profitably every single month.
Excellent. I love it. Nice. Okay. Closing out, y'all. Make sure y'all leave some comments on YouTube when y'all tapping in. Check this video out, or the audio will be on Spotify and all the rest of the streaming platforms a few weeks after this drops on YouTube. Thank you, Jerremy Newsome. Until the next time, my friend.
My pleasure.
Yes. Passive income, passive income, passive income. Gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple. We getting all this money to purchase rentals and get passive income, passive income, passive income. Gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple. We getting all this money to purchase rentals and get. See the crypto, a digital face, 2021 fiat replace. Had to have it, bank account, by Algorand, large amount.